So Don and I are up and kicking.
Right, yep.
I guess it's Monday. I mean, it's hard to tell which day of the week it is right now, but today is officially the start of our second week of isolation, social distancing. Because last Sunday we were at Tesla a week ago.
Right,
and we're
feeling great. So, not that 7 days is enough, but we didn't expect to pick up
5.6 days is the average exposure to infection. So we should be.
We also were at Whole Foods that day. Remember?
Right, so we should be clear. We're breathing a little easier about it after the 5-6 days is over.
Right, we really didn't.
We weren't really worried.
We were just counting. We were just making mental notes of certain events. So now the next one we went out was to the landfill, which was on Friday. So that's still. We haven't been around anybody.
We haven't been around anybody, even at the landfill, really. So, but anyway, so that's good.
Right.
So that's a positive. But it is getting hard to tell which days of the week are.
Yeah, I can't tell Saturday from Friday.
Yeah, they all feel weird at this point.
I am kind of caught up on my sleep, so I'm not so dead in the mornings. I'm not a zombie so much in the mornings.
Yeah.
So looking forward to getting going. We're going to be getting going here maybe in just a few minutes, but we've watched a couple good videos.
Yeah, we watched Kyle's drifting video and Brian from I1 Tesla's brand new Model Y.
Right.
My face, it makes me smile because I remember being in the car with Kyle and Brian and Johnny and getting slung around the track, and I know every time he turns that wheel and does that little side-to-side maneuver or cuts it hard, I'm just like, I feel it happening in a good way all over again. So that was very exciting. That put a smile on my face to start the day.
If you get a chance to go ride with Kyle on a hot lap,
absolutely go.
Well, the thing is that he is I don't know that you can say he's a professional race car driver, but he's got more skills than certainly than I've got, and other people you're likely. So, he knows how to do those little things. He's had a lot of practice here lately. So he's gotten really good.
Right, even though he doesn't do it for a living, he drives like he does,
That's
right. So, he's good.
What I'm trying to say is that he can make the car do things that you probably never experienced. Not that there aren't millions of other people can do the same thing, but I would say if you're the normal person driving to and from work, to and for the grocery stores and stuff like that, you're going to have a different experience in an automobile with Kyle. So you should take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, I put me and Johnny in the car, and Don didn't bat an eyelash. And that was before we all decided we were wearing helmets up there.
Yeah,
so
Kyle's not stupid.
Yeah, it's you should. Yeah, it's fun.
Really level-headed kind of a guy. He really is.
Yeah.
We've been watching Model 3 videos.
Why?
Thank you. We've been watching Model Y videos, and I've watched a lot of Model 3s because part of this is everybody's talking about the heat pump, which is fantastic. The Model Y has a heat pump versus the resistance heater in the Model 3. Great idea. But Derek and Eric out on YouTube are watching theirs, and they're trying to show the heat pump, which is a really big deal. But I think they missed something that might have been even bigger. This is the video that we're watching, and they're talking about the heat pump, which is that thing you see, the U-shaped.
The red?
Yeah, the red U-shaped thing.
Okay.
The aluminum, the shiny thing behind that is the compressor. I do not see an expansion valve there. Nor do I see a changeover valve. Of course, in a compressor, liquid never enters the compressor. You can't compress a liquid. Well, not in the case of refrigeration. So it's always a gas. So there's a gas coming in, a low pressure, cooler gas coming in, and then it leaves as a high pressure hot gas leaving the compressor, and it goes into an expansion valve. So I don't see the crossover valve, but it's in there somewhere. But the thing I think they've missed is, you see the greenish color on each side, the big chunks of metal. That's aluminum. I believe that's aluminum because I've looked in the ruby underneath, and it's always that that coating they put. Tesla puts this coating on aluminum, and I believe that's aluminum. So the Model Y is only like 300 pounds heavier, if that much, than the Model 3, and I think there's more aluminum in the structure of the car. Maybe the sheet metal itself is still all steel, but I think there's more aluminum in the Model Y than there is in the Model 3, based on what I see, because I don't remember seeing all that aluminum under the frunk area.
Okay. Well, I can pull up a picture of Model 3 underneath that we have from the Blue Ridge Park. That we have from the Blue Ridge Parkway Drive when the Ranger was fixing something in the parking lot up there. That was a Model 3. We could go look.
It would be good to refresh that.
Maybe I'll put up a picture of Ruby when you had the frunk out, of the picture I have of the 3, and then we can, this picture.
Right.
We can have them side by side and look at them.
Well, anyway, I think looks like there's considerable structural aluminum under
in the Y.
In the Y.
So we're getting busy, and number 1 is get rid of a couple of pieces of poison ivy so your girl doesn't catch it. Now, Don's never had it in his life and probably isn't sensitive to it, but up the hill we go because...
He says they're small, just barely coming out.
Yep, it's just emerging. You know, those of us that get it really bad, we can spot it a mile away. Well, hopefully we can always spot it a mile away, but at least most of the time we can. Yep. I'm feeding this other cat up here because boy cats, they don't get along even when they're both neutered. You know, if they didn't grow up together, if they didn't get neutered till later in life. So, number 1 piece, that. And then the rest of it is here. Actually, you can see it better there.
Well, you said there was like 1 or 2.
I said there was about 8.
Oh, a lot more.
It would be so much easier if we could just come up here and spray with Roundup, but we don't use Roundup. If I was going to use Roundup on anything, though, the only thing I would use it on would be poison ivy, and that's because that's a health risk for me. Yeah. It's really happy up here in this spot.
We should have reduced the chances a little bit.
Right. See, these guys come up here and they romp through this, and then they come down and I pet on them, and that's, you know, last year I had it several times, so if we can even get rid of some of it, that would be good. They don't pick it up on purpose. I was going to mow out here today, but it's just too wet, so no. So I took all the stuff out of the top drawer. You know, the rest of the drawers are in good shape, but the top drawer, where it gets all of the use, needed some sprucing up. And I washed the inserts, vacuumed, wiped down, and you know, it'll be ready for Dawn to reload it. So I heard all this rumbling upstairs. Should I be afraid?
More scrap wood's gonna bite the dust.
Okay, you gonna make some more shelves?
Yeah, I'm gonna make shelves for this over here now.
Okay.
I found a piece of...
Oh yeah, so it's not, so you can make better use of that space going up to the top.
Yeah, I can at least, you know, there's one shelf up here.
Yeah.
It's got these pegboards, and I've got enough...
Yeah, dowel. We probably have more pegs someplace, but
these
where
little metal ones are really nice, but I don't have, you know, they only gave me exactly the number I needed.
Right.
And so I could put at least one more shelf there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it, and then I don't know that I may put a shelf over here or not. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna put. I'm gonna make 2 shelves, I guess, and I'll decide where to put them. They both sit on both sides. The same shelf fits on either side.
Sure. And I got you spread out so you can get to your workbench and do more sorting.
So I'll take my sawhorses outside, and that melamine, I'll bring it down. You know.
Okay. Believe it or not, I did make a pass over there at the top of the bench, the workbench, and the top of the cart. And I have found all of our twist ties, and I have commingled my pretty girl ones with Dawn's plain white, black, and green ones. It's coming. Really it is. I gotta head in the house though, peel those eggs, get them in the refrigerator. Got a couple of small to-dos to do inside.
So, Mom made me a personal pizza, and I just found out that I'm not going back to school this year.
Well, at least through May the 15th, and your school ends like Memorial Day weekend. So, yeah, pretty much that means the end of the school year. He does have one assignment. Who sent you an assignment?
Miss Dixon, my CTE teacher, so it's a business class.
Right. Well, they've been getting real official Microsoft certifications for these classes. And,
I'm Microsoft Word and PowerPoint certified.
So far, yeah. So I think that is a good candidate for an online class. So, yeah. Well, I told Johnny to expect not to go back to school this year, and I'm sorry to say that was an accurate assessment of the situation, so... But we need a lunch plan for the rest of the week. I'm going to make him a batch of fried rice. And then we'll cook up chicken breast or a chuck-eye steak or a ground hamburger or something to go along with the rice. Because he's real self-sufficient about coming out and
I can
warming stuff up in the toaster oven and stuff, yes. But I want to make sure he's got something good for lunch, even though Dawn and I aren't eating lunch. So there's the news from the teenager. Go enjoy that pizza before it gets cold. And... deviled eggs is one of the things on the menu tonight. For a hard-working guy, he gets fresh deviled eggs.
That's right. Yum, yum.
Yeah. I don't find sprinkling with paprika does much for me, so...
Yeah. Just adds a little color is all.
Yeah, there they are. So he's added shelves. He's reinforced existing shelves. He's going to put one more down here. He's got it cut and ready to go. He's just kind of clearing out and deciding. That should make this space a lot more usable, Donnie.
Yeah.
There's a lip where he's put that molding just a little bit to make sure stuff doesn't fall off the shelves if you pull out stuff. Honestly, I swear I don't know where the time went. We've been out here for 5 hours again. Made excellent progress. Honest, we've made excellent progress. Obviously, we'll be back out here tomorrow, but look at this. How much nicer. All organized. Looks much better. All right, so Johnny can come in and do his Taekwondo. He's got his Zoom call at 7:30. Don set him up a little table here for his computer. And, you know, he'll have to be a little careful, of course, but he's got room to move.
Jump around.
That's right. And it's, you know, with the coin floor, it's a lot softer than cement. So the school system here is continuing to provide lunch and breakfast for kids. There's drive-through places advertised where you can go and get these meals downtown Raleigh and out in the more rural parts of Wake County. I'm just curious, are they feeding the kids in your part of the country? Here it's pretty important because they say a lot of these kids don't get food if they don't come to school, and so they feel it's really important. Plus, I guess the food would just go bad if they didn't dole it out, and they're getting together in small groups at multiple locations to bag them up, these meals. So let me know what's going on in your part of the country with school food. Don's going to take me for my nightly drive / Pokemon Go. It really is keeping me going. And I got to go back in the house and get a new battery for my camera. It's dying. Johnny's Taekwondo, there was a revised schedule and I missed the update, and so his class is actually tomorrow night, although he also is going to get a 20-minute private lesson tomorrow too. So, all right, take 2. We're really ready now. But Johnny's all set up. He actually got on Zoom with the masters and it works, and he's good, and he's all trained on it, and it's simple, so it's all good. I'm cold. I got my seat heater cranked all the way up. Don's got the heat cranked. It's 52 out there, but it's damp. It's wet. Yeah. I guess we're going to have a lot more rain tomorrow too, although then it's supposed to clear up for 4 or 5 days, so one can only hope.
That's right.
Well, you know, I'm sad about that. I really am. One of the things our governor, Roy Cooper, said today is that kids are not allowed on the playgrounds anymore. I think from a, you know, sharing the same slide and swing set and stuff, the little kid playground, I get it. But, you know, you can't even come over here and shoot hoops by yourself with your own basketball now. And that's kind of, I think that makes me sad. Yeah, the lights were all off on the tennis courts down at Action Park. Every night people have been out there playing tennis, and not tonight.
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, now that the kids are out of school till mid-May, that they're willing to invest that much time into you know, shelter-in-place type efforts. I guess going on closing the playgrounds is probably not a bad idea. You know, it's going to be a major sacrifice. I mean, before this is over, you know, we'll look back at these days and probably laugh. Oh, you know, it was really easy back in the early days. All we had to do is not go to the playgrounds. I don't know what's in the store for the future. I don't want to find out, by the way. I hope all of a sudden everything, if somebody invents something or something and poof, it's all over. But I don't expect that to happen.
Yep, I guess it's getting tougher now. We're doing good.
Yeah.
We're staying occupied. You know, Don and I are used to spending time together. I'm probably working him a little bit harder than he wants to work, but we're getting good stuff done. It feels good to me to be getting good stuff done.
Yeah, well, we're doing stuff that I genuinely want to do. I may not be gung-ho, but she's not having to convince me that this is good. You know, I've wanted to do this, so it's just a lot of work. You know,
yeah, just to say, in the garage today, you know, we are taking stuff out of drawers, vacuuming the drawer, wiping the drawer down, getting anything out of the drawer that really shouldn't go in there, making decisions to move stuff upstairs now that we have it all so organized up there to make more room for things used more frequently downstairs. So, you know, we could have made it look pretty fast.
Right.
But we're actually making it useful longer. So
right. We're doing more than just straightening it up.
That's right. And that's why there's a little bit of churn. And I guess today, at the end of the day, it may not have looked like we had done a lot more today, but we really were out there for 5 hours and kicked you know what and did a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we've come past, and Dawn's noticed that they have at least one more truckload worth of stuff delivered.
Or maybe two. I mean, that's a lot of pallets there.
Well, I really hope they can organize a way where folks can come through, pay in advance, load up, and go. You know, people need to be able to do stuff outside in their yard if that'll give them, you know, some exercise, some mental clarity, something on this situation. So you'll notice they've got all of their garden plants and stuff in over here too.
Well, like I said, normally they let you pay. They could do site to store type thing for the mulch. They could put it on the site to store list. And when you come up here, you know, they just tell you, look, if you just order mulch. Don't order plumbing equipment and stuff. Just order the mulch on a separate ticket.
You don't even have to go inside. You can stay in your car. Somebody can just
throw it in the trunk.
Yeah, well, I know the Garden Hut, they're a little small local garden business. Nelsa's been putting out a couple of posts on Facebook a day saying we're here. Exactly what Dawn said. Pay in advance, drive up, and I guess they're like probably sharing their license plate number, and we'll just load what you asked for in the back. You don't even have to get out of your car. You don't have to interact with us or anything. And she's got, what, 3 or 4 ladies and one guy that does outside watering and stuff. Yeah. She's got such a small crew over there, and they're mostly outdoors. I don't know, though. She probably can't stay. Probably the new laws mean she comes close to she can't stay open.
Right.
And Don says it's 8:31, so Walmart should just be closing. Although that might have been Sunday hours versus Monday hours, so maybe they haven't closed. But
well, when we get down to the other end, we'll look.
Yeah.
Because that door is easier to get. This is the busier door.
Yeah. It's not too crowded up here tonight, just a little bit. I think they probably are closing at 8:30, so unless we come earlier, we can't. Well, what we heard on the news tonight is that, does it say 8:30 again on the door?
Daily.
Yep, 7 to 8:30. I guess what we heard earlier is that the food stores all have food first thing in the morning, and then by early afternoon, there's really not much food. So, fresh food, meat, dairy, stuff like that. So they pretty much said if you're coming out looking for groceries, if today's your day, you should go earlier than later. But then of course that just puts you in the store with all those people. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, something about them not being open in the middle of the night is troublesome to me, because if I needed groceries and was going to want to venture out, I'm going to get up and go at 3 a.m. You know, just to try to avoid the most people possible. Walmart Murphy gas over here, Don says, is $1.69. Of course, we hadn't looked at that particular place the last few nights. It would be more telling to compare at Sheetz.
Yeah.
But here's some. Hey, Donnie, this guy, he's getting him a Krispy Kreme donut, baby.
Yeah. Now that guy knows how to lock it down.
That's not tempting me, but it is hard to drive past. And I do mean drive past the Dairy Queen every night. All right, it's $1.73 over here at the Harris Teeter, which is a Kroger Fred Meyer company. It's $1.73. Yeah. I would come out and drive around during the day, but all that purposeful exercise out in the garage is keeping me, you know,
at home.
Yeah, besides, you know, Don and I are just kind of enjoying the little drive, the little quiet drive around town, see what's going on. It makes me, I guess, feel connected with the outside world, even if I can't go into my normal shopping place. You know, it's killing me. I can't go look for Tesla Hot Wheels. And I guess a lot of the Tesla casting cars are kind of sitting at home. People have picked them up and aren't really wanting to leave them at superchargers right now because there's concern about the virus on the little Tesla caching cars. So Don and I actually never deployed ours because Ruby had to get the MCU replaced, and I couldn't drive her for what, almost 10 days or something, 2 weeks. And then she was serviced, and then by the time I got Ruby back from service, all this crap started happening, and I had planned to pass some off to Kyle and pass some off to our friend Joe and us to go to a supercharger or two and deploy them, and it never happened. So they're sitting in a Ziploc bag waiting for their launch, which we will do, but they're not out there, and I am a little sad about that. Oh, Dairy Queen.
3 cars.
Yeah, those lucky or not so lucky people. Yeah, I made chicken thighs tonight and stuffed really mushrooms, sausage stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah, the only way they could be better is if they had Dairy Queen for dessert.
Right. I understand. I'm trying really hard to mix it up, but yeah, I'm sure Chick-fil-A's got some people. Yeah. It's actually not too busy tonight. Well, you know, they have ice cream too, Dottie.
Yeah, well, we are late.
Right. Well, we get out here when we get out here. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm trying to randomize, what's the word, variety. So between beef, pork, and chicken and eggs, we had those deviled eggs early, just a little bit early. We call them our appetizer.
Yeah, they were really good.
And you know, I'm doing the best I can. We're starting to get to the point where there's a few things that would be nice to have. At the end of the week, I'll be out of cream for my coffee. So yeah,
that ain't gonna be good.
No, it's not. Guess we should start putting a little less in every day.
$1.69.
Wow, that was it, 175 yesterday or something like that?
173, I think.
Yeah, so once that's a significant drop. Wow, you wouldn't have thought it could get that low.
Will it break 150?
Well, I mean, look at how many less miles I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're putting 10 miles a day on Ruby if we're lucky.
Yeah, we're doing it.
And that's just because we feel like driving around and we can.
See, we're doing basically a day instead of...
one day of our week we're doing for the entire week. Yep.
1/7, I guess.
Yep.